Hello, everybody. This is Monkeypuzzle, and it's a beautiful new morning on our server, Axis Mundi. And there's a lot of things I can show you here, but today I want to show you a new thing I built. I'm sure you can't guess. Wait for it. It's a brand new mob spawner item farm XP grinder thingy do. I know. I've been doing a lot of these lately. I'm a little obsessed, but every Minecraft world needs one, and I just think they're a lot of fun to build, turning those baddies into a resource and something you can control and use and harvest to your endless delight, punching millions of them. Anyway, this one is mostly not my design. This is actually a pretty quintessential design by a fellow simian, another monkey I've learned a lot from, Monkeyfarm. I'll link to his channel in the description so that you can go check him out. So big thanks to him. But I've done a few tweaks on it myself, which I'll show you. I'm going to also do this as a reply to him because there's a few things I just wanted to show him that might improve his. Besides making it more ornate with some glass balconies around each level and all that, and showing, not making it a complete square so you can use some of the features as detailing. Yeah, so let me take you over there and show you what's up with it. Now, I didn't do the last two I made, the Mob Star or the Mob Flusher, because both of those need to be over an ocean to work well. They include Endermen, and for the Endermen to not escape from it and teleport out, there has to be all water and no teleportable spaces. And obviously, in the middle of town like this, that won't work. So his is a pretty basic design for a too-high mob flusher thing. So we're going to use his, and I'm going to show you right now. Just right here, there's a lever. You can turn the whole thing on or off. And as I will try to explain later, off means constantly on, and off means and on means off. So I'll show you what that means in a second. But let me see. As per my usual, I've been building. Excuse me. I've been building the walls out of half slabs. I like them because, contrary to what they used to do, they do exclude light totally within, but you can see inside. Check out what's going on. The downside is that the mobs can see out, so you got to be careful if there's creepers and such in here, so they don't come up and explode. I think if I was right here, I'd still be okay, but still a little risky. If they're in there, that would definitely make this wall go kablooey. But let's go inside, check out what's going on. I'm going to put this here just because the water is going to keep flushing, and I don't want to make too much of a mess out here, although I don't think it'll do too much. So the shape of these spawning pads were his design. Basically, they just come 8 out from the water source and 8 that way, and the basic triangular physics of Minecraft water. So you get 4 of these per level. There's 7 levels. I'd figured out at one point how many spawning spaces I get from that. Don't remember right now. I don't have my notes on me, but it's a lot. Let me see. Okay, came back with those numbers, and so there's 52 spawnable places on each of these pads. If you subtract the area where the half slabs are, so that's 208 per level. And because I have 7 levels, you can do as many as you want. I've got 1,456 spawnable sites in here. So what's happening is 1/4 of this thing is flushing at any one time. Right now that dispenser's on, just turned off. Now this one's going to turn on. And that's happening on all 7 levels above. So 1/4 of this thing's always flushing, and 3/4 is spawning. And there's maybe some fine-tuning that can be done with that timing, but I think that's pretty good right now. This one's not going to flush me off because I've got this hole open and the water's just going to go that way. So yeah, and everybody gets dropped off down to here. There's an X of water streams in the spaces between that push everybody down. Did this the way Monkeyfarm did, where I've got pressure plates down here just so that there's an airspace below the water streams here, which helps break the mob's fall and keeps them from taking damage prematurely. so that we can calculate the fall as exactly as possible. The other thing I've added is I've made these pads 2 layers thick so that I can put a button here and vines. And it doesn't matter if they're here or here, they still do the same job when the mobs fall down. The buttons are to keep the vines from growing any farther so they're not all hanging down here. I put some down here which the water stream stopped from growing, and that also is for the same reason of just keeping the mobs from taking any fall damage, or as little as possible anyway, till they get here. All the water streams then collect down to this point and they all fall down. Now he had it too wide right here, so they wouldn't bump into each other as much and all fall down and clog right here. I had it 3 wide because I couldn't stand the asymmetry of just having a little off-center there. That was a little problematic at the bottom at the collection point. So I've got it down to just 1 spot, and they do bump into each other a little bit when they're falling, but I watched in quickly enough to really stop any slowdown in the whole thing. They all fall down there, so this is working good for me. The other slight change I made from his design is I just repositioned the position of the half slabs. The half slabs, of course, are to prevent spiders from spawning, because spiders, they're different shape than everybody else, can really gum up the works. And also we have a cave spider spawner, so we can get plenty of string there. I did change the pattern a little bit because he had, like, for instance, 1 straight out, and if you're standing here and this turns on and you get pushed straight out, you get stuck against that half slab because it's only a 2-high roof. And because I wanted to make sure all the mobs got off at every flush, I made sure they're all at a slight angle from the no right angles from where the water's coming, so if a mob gets pushed here, it's going to get pushed off the side. Alright, so let me take you on with the rest of this so we don't take too long. Close this back up. Let me show you how the wiring works. I'm going to go 1 level up just because I can show you a little bit more clearly there. What I've done is I've used pistons to carry the redstone signal down from the roof where the piston timer is. Let me take these off real quick so you can see what's going on. Basically, there's a piston here, piston here, and they alternate all the way up on either side of the dispenser. And what happens is there's redstone on these blocks on top. This piston is pushing down, which means it then receives the signal from this redstone torch, activating the redstone up above there, which activates the dispenser and the piston, which then takes the signal down to the next one. So it's just, I thought it was a neat way to take the signal down. Didn't come up with that myself, seen it done before. And the other thing I've done here, oh, you can see, okay, this piston just turned off, which then allows this to turn on because I've inverted the dispenser. If I didn't have this redstone torch here, basically every time, this has a water bucket in here, every time I wanted the water to come out and then come back in, it would need 2 signals, 1 to let the water out, 1 to suck it back in. So you'd have to send 2 signals every time, which is fine, it's not too hard to do, but when I would turn on the manual override, I found, which turns all of them on, I found that things were getting out of sync and complicated. So I've done it this other way, where if you give the dispenser a constant redstone signal from a torch, either behind it or under it, probably next to it as well, would work just fine, then it's always on. And if you give it a signal, it turns it off. So the default state of these piston signal downward transmission things here is on, which leaves us off. And then when it gets its time, the pistons retract, it stops getting that signal, this can then do its thing and turn it on. So basically it's a way for dispensers to work just simply with the redstone, so it's either on or off. It doesn't need the 2 signals again. So I hope that makes sense. It's a little complicated, but it actually makes it simpler. And then the reason for these is because pistons are transparent, and I didn't want a light leak getting in there. So I put a half slab on the back of it to keep light from leaking in there, and then I just put them all around just to pretty it up and try to make it a little more symmetrical. So let me take you up to the roof, and I'll show you what's going on up there. So up here you'll see, when we get there, I've got a piston clock going on. So this ring of blocks is just getting pushed around from the little signal that's going around and around it. And because the dispensers are inverted, this is inverted from usual too. It's got these two opaque blocks going around, and every time they come here, the signal that comes from the middle, it's turned off for the signal that goes down to all the dispensers on this side. And now it's back on. So like I was saying, the default state for the redstone signal going down is on, and then when it's their time, they get these two wood blocks and they get turned off, which then turns that whole column of 7 dispensers on. And this just goes round and round, flushing the whole thing 1/4 at a time. There's a few other niceties here I'll show you. I wanted to have a manual override so that I can turn all the dispensers on, flush the whole thing out, and turn off the monster spawning if I wanted. So what I did is, for each of these signals going, there is a piston that's default state is on. It puts the block here, allows the signal to come through to this repeater and then go down. If I turn on the manual override, which can, the main one's down at the bottom, but you can actually do it at any point along the way up, turns off these pistons. These can no longer get a signal, and so now they're all on, they're all flushing, no mobs can spawn, and they all get flushed out. And then just two more things with the redstone up here. If I want to turn this piston clock off, I just put this piston right here, which just cuts off the signal right there, and you can release it. And if you want to turn it back on, I've got a little monostable circuit, I think is what you call this, or a little pulse limiter at least, that just gives it a short little pulse, and which goes around and around and gets the clock working again. So the advantage of doing this mob spawner in town is that the whole ground surface is mostly lit up. I've got my render distance at 128 at normal right now, not far, because that shows you the whole area that needs to be lit up. You can actually see farther than mobs can spawn, but this is the whole area that we need to light so that this thing works as efficiently at night that it does in the daytime. So I've started doing it. I went that way, and I've been lighting up along the whole edge, and then I need to fill in the middle. So I got this dark space here and this dark space here. A little bit I found on servers you can't always run. A little bit over there, but most of this is all lit up. And then I gotta do a lot of lighting up underground, but a lot of that's already been done. So I'll show you that. Oh yeah, and before I leave here, one thing I have planned for this, let me climb up here a little bit so you can see, is the boys built their arena here where they go in and do their gladiator thing and fight each other. And what I want to do is tap into this line and be able to channel mobs into here and make a sorter, so you can click a little lever and pick which kinds of mobs that you want to fight. I know other people have done this before. I've seen Doc M do it. So you can decide if you want to fight zombies or skeletons, and if we can do the whole thing up with obsidian, you can also pump creepers in there as well and practice your mob fighting in the arena. And that might become useful soon if they do some of the changes to mob XP that they were threatening to do in 1.4, where the amount of XP you get from a mob is proportional to the amount of damage you do. So these things that soften them may not give you the full XP later. So the other thing that needs to be done, oh, actually let me do this one, is just finish lighting up down below. Now because this is the center of things here, a lot has already been lit up. A lot of people have their mining centers down here, their mining bases. Mine is right below this drop right down here, so that which is actually right below the spawner, so I'm actually going to switch it so the mob can drop all the way down to me when I'm mining down there, and I can go and collect them in bits too. But we've got a bit of work to do out there, just in the further edges, to really light it up and get this thing working at full capacity, but not starting from scratch on the lighting up, obviously. So it won't be long before we get this thing up to its full efficiency. Yeah. And lastly, I wanted to show you just a little collection point down here. The mobs drop right into here and you can one-hit kill them. For the most part, the zombies tend to be a little tougher and they take 2 hits. Occasionally one will die. I don't think I have this thing turned off up there, so hopefully they'll keep dropping. There we come. That's one that occasionally dies. When you build up here and you don't want to punch them all, you've got this little button right here that does a quick little instant kill with lava, which is great if you got a bunch built up there and you don't want to hit them. I'll show you how to set that up in a second. And if you don't want them building up at all, you can just manually turn this on, and anybody who falls down here will die. It's not very efficient for the items though, because they tend to try to swim up there and get burned up. And this whole dealie here is just to keep them, make it a little harder for them to see you. I found when you go collect in the corners, they can see down and see you, so this is just to make you a little harder to see to them, especially because of these guys. Get too close, even in this situation, sometimes you'll get them sizzling. You gotta back up because you don't want to blow this all up, and it'd be no fun to cover it all up with obsidian and just hit their feet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little stuff to do while you're standing here. You get up to 30, like, oh, look at that, I am now. You can come enchant your stuff here. This little glass roof to keep your books in your bed from getting soggy and wet when it rains. A little AFK spot, so you can hang out with minimal risk if you're letting them build up as high as they can go, which I don't think is any more than 79. If you got 79 waiting for you down there, you'd be doing pretty good. Oh, and I wanted to show you how to do this little trick with the dispenser. Let me do that real quick. Take this off too. So basically, you just put a couple blocks on top of each other. I need some more vines. I'll grab one of these over here. And I learned this from a YouTube user named HFog and his pocket chicken cooker. So put a couple vines like that, break the middle one, this vine will still stay, and then if you got a dispenser, you can stick it right in there, and there'll be a vine on the side of the dispenser, which wouldn't normally happen, I think. And then if you put a button right there, boom, because of the vine, you can put a button on the side of the dispenser, and it makes it click. Now if I put a lava bucket and clicked it like it is, I'm not going to do it because you'd get a big mess all the way around here with lava everything, lava everywhere. But dispensers also click whenever they get a redstone update. So if you put a repeater here on at least 2 clicks, I like it on 3 ticks, not clicks. What happens is you press this, the lava comes out. I put lava in there. But then this gets a redstone signal, which updates this again, and it sucks it back in. So it's probably the most compact way to make a little cooker like that, and it would work for mobs and chickens and cows and any other critters that you want to cook up. So that's a neat little trick. Anyway, that's what I had to show you today. There's lots more here I can show you, and there's many other videos I'm trying to get to. So yeah, as soon as I stop moving, I'll have more time to do more. But thanks to Monkeyfarm for the basic design for this nice mob flusher spawner, And thanks to y'all for watching. So this is Monkeypuzzle signing out. Till next time. Bye bye.